Good evening. Welcome to the June 10th, 2025 meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. This March.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends and Daily Record newspapers, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all of the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mrs. Florence Lynch? Here. Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mrs. Russell?
Here.
Mr. Siracusa?
Here.
Mayor Dreese?
I am here. Moving on with the agenda, there is no presentation scheduled for this evening. Item number 6, reports from volunteers. At this time, are there any reports or comments from any of the volunteers serving our community? Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Randy Shamber, and I'm here reporting on behalf of Propel Pequannock. I'm the Social Equity Director for that volunteer organization in town. So I'm here to report on our Pride Festival, which happened on Sunday, because it originally was scheduled for Saturday, for the rain date was Sunday. And we had a beautiful day of kindness, just like we had planned. I'd like to thank Melissa for being there and reading the Pride Proclamation, and Dave for coming. Because the day switched, you were able to come, so thank you so much for attending. There's a lot of people to thank to have a day like this come together, and it of course does start with the town council and the leaders of our community that support this type of event that means so much to so many people. The unfortunate thing was, because it was a rain date, about half our vendors showed up. It's just what would happen with any time you change a date at a last minute. But the people that were there all reported that it was just actually what it was meant to be, a beautiful day of kindness. And even the vendors, some of them reported it was their best event ever. Fewer vendors, that meant there was more money to spend with fewer people to spend it with. So that was a positive that came out of it. I wanted to, again, thank our sponsors for this event, because without them, it could not happen. And that's Birch Tree Psychology, Rita's Ice, Christina by Design, Pequannock Township Town Council, Pequannock Township Chamber of Commerce, TD Bank, Atlantic Health, Shamrock School of Music had music all day long on stage, and Scanlon's was our title sponsor. So I wanted to thank them again and give them recognition in the meeting today. I also want to thank the township departments that were involved, Parks and Rec, DPW, our first aid squad was there all day volunteering, and thank you again for authorizing the police to be there. I think that worked very well. We had absolutely no issues, and believe it or not, it was the first year we had absolutely no issues. So I don't know if somebody would have walked up to the event and they saw the police officer and decided to turn around, but we had no issues. Issues in the past were not major, but there was a few issues in previous events. So thank you for doing that. It made everyone comfortable and feel like it was a safe space. I also want to thank everybody that helped put the event together, and really it's the officers from Propel. That would be Paul Mailer, Sharon Ramallah, Allison Sana, and Sally Basile, who all put this event together. Again, without them, it really cannot be done. During the day, we had some speeches. Actually, we had an invocation from Dave Sipple, Pastor Dave Sipple from First Reformed Church. And we also were able to give out a couple of scholarships, which is what we do with this event. We raise money so we can give back to the community. One scholarship, I think I mentioned mentioned it when I was here describing the event. It was essays that our graduating seniors wrote. We received about 60 essays that described how they spread kindness within our community, and it's very uplifting to read all of those essays, but we had to pick one, and that was one by Tiffany Zapolik. She won the scholarship for having the most impressive essay. There were a lot of them, and we actually had a split decision on it. So, and then the other scholarship, which is our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Scholarship for a graduating senior, and that was won by Finn Guerrero. And what I'd like to do is have them come on up and read the Pride Proclamation so that it can be read into the record here at the meeting. So Finn, if you'd like to come on up.
Is this necessary? Whereas the Mayor and Council of Pequannock Township, New Jersey welcomes and encourages diversity and inclusion within our community, and whereas by protecting the rights of every individual, we enhance and strengthen the value of everyone throughout our entire society, and whereas celebrating Pride Month raises awareness and provides support and advocacy for the LGBTQ+ community, and is an opportunity to become educated, engage in dialogue, strengthen alliances, and build understanding. And whereas, while there has been remarkable progress towards acceptance and equality, members of the LGBTQ+ community continue to face discrimination and intolerance. And whereas we must commit to supporting and accepting LGBTQ+ individuals, in particular our youth, who compared to their peers are far more likely to experience violence and bullying at school. Whereas we affirm our support for LGBTQ+ residents in our community and stand with them to protect their civil rights and their ability to live openly, equally, and without fear. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the month of June is recognized as Pride Month, and all residents are urged to celebrate and build a culture of inclusiveness and acceptance during this month and every month as a welcoming sign to all. And I would like to thank Melissa Florence Lynch, David G. Cole, Kyle Russell, and Vincent Saracusa for signing this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Finn. So I don't know if the report section is different from the comments section, if you guys have any questions about the Pride Festival or anything, or is that a different part and you would ask questions later?
Well, the comment section is later. This is like reports from
Sure.
volunteers.
So that's what I'm asking.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have any questions about it,
Okay.
you'd like to ask me.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, I'm good.
It was a great day.
It was a beautiful day.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other reports from volunteers serving the community? Seeing none, we are going to move on to the public comment section. The next item on the agenda is public comments. This comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. Additional time is reserved later in the meeting. We welcome comment suggestions and questions during the comment period. However, the purpose of this is to allow public comment, not to engage in dialogue. If you have a specific question, please feel free to pose it and then follow up with staff via telephone or email. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, please. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name for the record. I think before we start, I'm just going to ask Mr. Osteich just to mention a comment about the 60 Sunset thing, because I know a lot of people are here.
Sure, Mayor, thank you. Whenever there's a matter in litigation, we're always very careful here at the council how we speak about that matter publicly. We all know these meetings are recorded, these meetings are taped, these meetings can be, any information exchanged in this meeting can be used in that litigation for whatever purpose it turns out to be. So we are going to be very careful up here about not making comments, not discussing matters of litigation. We can listen. We urge anybody from the public to have the same, just keep that same thing in mind. Anything you say is recorded here. We do not want to do anything that's going to harm the township's ultimate position, including putting ourselves out there and having words that we say twisted around for another purpose. It was done very carefully at the last meeting, which I appreciated, but we want to be very careful about that. The more people we have, the more that happens, the more likely it is something gets said that gets twisted or turned. So the less, the better. We understand your appearance here gives us a message in and of itself, but comments are free. Just please understand why we up here are not likely to respond to those comments. And with that, Mayor, I turn it back over to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to try to limit it to 3 minutes tonight because there's a lot of people here who want to get, whoever wants to say something, we want them to be able to have an opportunity, so.
Good evening, Mayor Treacy, ladies and gentlemen of the council. George Seuss, 37 Greenview Drive. Mr. Eustich, thank you for those very necessary, clear instructions and for sharing it in a appropriate way, not a scolding way.
Okay.
I understand the seriousness of this situation. I am here just to ask this governing body to please consider engaging outside counsel to review this situation. I would imagine by now that there's been communications with the insurance company. There may or may not have been communications with an insurance company provided attorney. As we all know, both up on the dais and behind me, insurance companies much prefer to settle, sometimes throwing in the limits of their policy, sometimes apportioning it. But I would seriously and strongly consider and ask that you look into the possibility of engaging outside counsel. If you don't, I think it's a mistake. I think this governing body owes this to the residents and frankly to the zoning board who worked so hard before reaching their decision. It would delegitimize their decision and their hard work by doing anything other than at least getting an outside opinion, a disinterested third party, not someone who's got a stake in, keeping the purse closed. So I don't want to go on and on repeating the same thing. I do fully understand that matters of litigation, and frankly, even matters of potential litigation, can and should be addressed in closed session. You can deem any matter a matter of potential litigation within reason. I would also ask that if and when possible, the town come up with some type of updates that can be shared with the public, properly vetted, of course, by the legal people, because this is a very tough one to be kept in closed session without people understanding, maybe what's going on. So I know it's a very slippery slope, Mr. Eustich and Mr. Brewer as the town manager, but really seeking an outside opinion, I think, would serve everyone well in terms of what we stand to lose or what we might be able to potentially gain by having a fresh set of eyes to take a look at this. So thank you.
Thank you. Next. Yes.
Hello, Sandy LaCourte, Repertory Place. Good evening, council members. I want to take a moment to sincerely thank you and our township staff for your support of the recent Pride Fest held in Pequannock. Propel, Paul Mahler, Randy Shamber, and crew have created an event that is not only well organized, fun, and joyful, it is, more importantly, respectful and inclusive. It's welcoming of residents, families, and visitors alike. Events like Pride Fest speak volumes about the values of our community. They remind us that Pequannock is a place where diversity is not only acknowledged, but celebrated with dignity and openness. This kind of inclusivity is not about any single group or cause. It's about creating a community where everyone feels safe, seen, and respected. That is a strength that characterizes us as a community, a strength which we will continue to foster and embrace confidently. Thank you again for supporting opportunities like this that reflect the best of who we are as a township. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on up.
Patty Horsting, 15 William Street. I have two. One, I know last year I asked about if we can get an evaluation for West Franklin, because right now cars are parking on both sides, and Sundays in particular, it's hard because it turns into a one road. And if you're coming from the turnpike and you're trying to get going down the road West Franklin to Boulevard, the amount of accidents that almost happen because of the cars being blocked on both sides. You have the two corner houses, the cars park right before the stop signs, which is legal. And it is legal to park on both sides, but because that church takes up, and again, I know it's primarily on Sundays, but we really should see if we can maybe limit on West Franklin that only one side of the street should be available for parking. So there's no issues with cars, trying to juggle, trying to get down that on Sundays. That's issue number one. And number two, I kind of support George. As an attorney myself, I understand the impact of litigation. I was also very involved in attending the 60 Sunset, and I would just like to remind the town that it's our taxpayers' money that pays the insurance fees that we have, and that we really should be trying to stand behind the zoning board, because they did take a lot of time and effort. Even the residents put time and effort into helping the town see things in different lights. So I would just strongly suggest we do hire outside counsel to take a different approach and stand behind the zoning board's decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes. Jeff first, and then Mr. Paul. Good.
Jeff Siebert, 20 Lenox Road. Last meeting where I was here, Mr. Brewer, I didn't realize until after the fact, he says he was informed that there was plenty of room for the kids to play. I think you need a new informant, because there's no room. It's making you look bad because you didn't go look yourself, but besides that, the other thing, it seemed like after that meeting, when we were trying to kind of put it on, I thought it was kind of being put on hold, and I tried to get it put on hold. The next day after the meeting, the mulch was delivered, so it was hurried up. And then that weekend, the Eagle Scouts came, and they hurried up. So all that trying to put it on hold and talk about it, obviously none of this would be discussion if the residents in the area were told from the beginning that this was happening. We wouldn't be wasting time and money on this dog park that took over the whole kids' playground. Besides that, as far as I know, it was the Eagle Scouts was, getting the money for it. And from what I found out, no. I talked to the Eagle Scout lady, which she apologized for putting the dog park there. She said it had nothing to do with her. She said that they mentioned other areas possibly, and this is where they put it. So she apologized for being there, because she says, I wouldn't want it for my house either. I don't know, so I talked to some guy, I went to Foothills. I don't know if anybody mentioned that Foothills doesn't get water anymore, so I don't even know why we're moving the dog park. It was fine over there. I was talking to somebody at Foothills, and this guy says, oh, there hasn't been any water over here for a while. I found out they fixed the problem. They found out what the problem was, they fixed it. So I went there a couple weeks ago when we had all the water and rain overnight. Our rivers were up to action stage, because I watch that, so I'm in a flood zone. And I went there the next day, nothing. I went there the next day after that, after the river was going down, nothing. I went there today, nothing. With all this rain we're having, now we're wasting all the money to put it in a different area that's tight already, when it should be fine where it is. And I did talk to somebody that was there at the time. This is kind of a funny story. Talking to him, yeah, I like it over here. He says, he went to the Lyman Park one. He says, but I felt like I was in somebody's backyard. I said, yeah, you were in my front yard. And I was talking to him. I said, yeah, I like it over here. And the dog likes it here. There's a nice breeze, and there hasn't been any water. I said, can you come to the town meeting and talk about it? He goes, oh, I don't live in town. Oh, so now how are we regulating the people going in and out of the dog park? When we said that last meeting, there is no regulation of people watching. He says, oh yeah, there's a lady that comes by and lets 10 dogs out of her car. She's a dog sitter and she uses the park. That's also one of the regulations. There's no regulating that. I don't understand how they talk about they would regulate this. And besides that, and now that the mulch was dropped there, they hurried up and put it in. Just They put it on, I don't know, the 31st they were done, or the 1st they were done. You know where the mulch is? They hurried up to put it there, right? It's still there today. It's a week and a half the mulch pile's been sitting there, huge. Girls were trying to play basketball in front of the mulch pile today. I literally saw it today. I was surprised. But, what else did I have here?
All right, yeah, just so you can finish up, it's a little
That's
over
it.
3 minutes.
Yeah, but
Go ahead, you're good.
No, that's it. I mean, I'm just
Okay.
repeating myself. I mean, it should have been done. We should have been talked about it. I mean, it was no Eagle Scout thing. The town did most of the work and paid most of the money for the fencing. The Eagle Scouts were there for couple hours for 2 days. I watched them. I was there. I talked to them. She offered me a bagel and everything else. You know, she felt sorry. And I'm just worried about I don't plan on moving, but I'm worried about maybe my house isn't going to depreciate. But if I do go to sell it, let's be honest. Would you buy a house in front of a dog park?
If I liked it enough.
Huh?
If I liked it enough, I would.
All right, let's finish up. You can come back later if you want, but thank you. Anybody else? Yes, come on up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Judy Simon at 61 Roosevelt Street. I'm here in regard to Lyman Park and the dog park that was just put in. To start, I think it's important for you all to know that I'm a mom of 3 young children and love dogs and have 2 rescues right now at home. The residents of Lyman Park love their park and have been keeping it safe and clean for decades. I love the park so much for my children. I have picked up used condoms, rebar, glass fragments, bottles, cigarettes, other pieces of garbage, and construction material for when the park was used as a staging area to lift the houses. When the construction company left the area after leaving the houses, it was left in awful condition. There were divots that were over 8 inches deep, and the grass was gone. I alerted the town to the mess and stayed on top of the issue for months. I pushed that we could have our park back to being usable again. The people in the area, we report when the trees are in bad shape, when the limbs have fallen, and we have to push to get the trimmings taken away after they've been sitting there for weeks. The residents of that area are why that section of the park looks so good when the town came and chose it for the dog park. While the town owns the property in name, the residents are the ones who have been stewards of it. I was advised that the children could play in the other areas of the park. One area of the park slopes down into a creek and stream marsh area. The other area that was suggested is in the corner of the dog park and the park. This area has roots coming up out of the ground, has very little grass, there are deep holes, glass pieces, this is where the tree limbs fall, and it is right next to the parking lot. The safest area of the park has been taken away from our children and given to the dogs. The area of the playground that should be mulched and have a border, which is behind the swings, which it did have for many years, but has been left to decay, is only 11 feet away from the dog park fence. I have looked at 5 towns that also have dog parks and playgrounds in the same area. All are in much bigger complexes, are not in fully residentially zoned areas. Only one had a dog park next to the playground, and that one had a much farther distance between the dog park and the playground, and in between were mature trees. All the other ones that I looked at were separated by large parking lots and were on separate sides of the complex. The dog park license requires users to sign a waiver to use the dog park. The waiver states that the town cannot control what dogs use the park. It says that they may be aggressive dogs and dogs that bite within this waiver. The waiver also states that dogs can go under and over the fence and the users use it at their own risk. These things are so worrisome to the town that any users have to relinquish their rights. Yet the town and some members of this council believe it is safe to put a dog park 11 feet away from a playground when the town, in black and white, has stated that there is a chance for aggressive dogs, dogs that bite, to go under or over the fence. I ask that the council members in the town put any special interest that they may have to the side and do what's right for the residents and the area. Please stop this dog park from opening. If you don't, you will have chosen dogs over the children and families of this area. We're relying on you to uphold our children's safety and the standards of our family-friendly community. And last piece I want to mention, I just found out today, so far, that fence has cost the town close to $20,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, sorry, Paul, you were supposed to be next. Sorry. That's okay.
Good evening, Paul Mailer. I'm here as the very proud president of Propel Pequannock to offer my thanks to all of you, to Mr. Brewer, and to all of the departments that we deal with to put an event like that together. Let me start with Patrolman Nick Malfato. Nick was there all day on Sunday. He was remarkably courteous and professional, helping vendors. He was all over, did a great job, so we appreciate him. The First Aid and Rescue Squad was there, as they always are, with the crew and with their equipment. It's always great to see them. And I also want to offer special thanks to the people who run Parks and Rec, the Health Department, Fire Safety, DPW. Guys at DPW have me laughing all the time putting up the stage. All of them are remarkably professional. They're cooperative. They go out of their way to help. Even when there's a problem, they will find a way to work it out. So I'm here tonight to simply thank you and them. They do a great job, and we very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, yes, come on up.
Hi, Stacy Taylor, West Franklin Avenue. I do agree with the young woman over there. I do live on that street, and it is becoming a hazard for our children. Parked on both sides, people just randomly walking around. It's one lane you have to get through, children on their bikes, they can't get through. Even you get on the sidewalk, it just all becomes crowded. Somebody needs to go out there and look at what's going on every Sunday. At least put a police officer there. I mean, it's really getting quite horrendous. The next one for me, if you don't mind, is 60 Sunset. I'm one of those mothers who got that phone call when her child got her driver's license. Somebody didn't stop at the stop sign, made the left-hand turn while my daughter was going straight on Sunset. Guess what? It wasn't pretty. Nobody wants that phone call, right? Stand by the zoning board. And number 3, my daughter is part of the Pride community. I love that as a town, we support our children. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, public comment? Yes, come on up.
Elaine Baccarella, 16 William Street. This is short and sweet. I just want to say I do support the zoning board and their decisions, and I hope we stick with them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Yes, hiding in the corner. Come on up.
Behind the post.
Yeah, right.
My name is Denise Gall. I live on Jackson Avenue. This is my first council meeting in a long time, but I've been following online what goes on in town. 60 Sunset. I don't live down that way. I don't have kids in the township, but I care about what goes on in this town. And I would just like that you're currently supporting the zoning board, and I would encourage that to continue. And also, yay, Pride Fest. I think it's a wonderful thing. So just wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Anybody else public comment? Yes, come on up.
Wanda Ramirez, 38 Hampton Ave, Pequannock. Well, I understand and appreciate the importance of designated space for dogs. The dog park next to the child playground. Again, I'm going to say this for my 3rd time, it's not safe. You got the playground, they have a label saying, no dogs allowed. 11 feet away, then you have a dog park. It doesn't make sense. So please take that into consideration. We live there, and we will not notice that this was putting together. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, we're going to close the public comment section. Mr. Brewer, do we want to talk about West Franklin? I know we talked about it last year. I know the town took a look at it, the engineer's office?
Yes, Mayor. After the concern was expressed previously, the engineering department and the police department went out and reviewed it, especially on Sunday, because that was one of the principal areas of concern. There were suggestions or recommendations made back, should the council want to limit parking on one side or the other. Ultimately, the decision was made as a result of trimming back a significant amount of the shrubs, not to take any legislative action at that time and continue to evaluate moving forward. Based upon the concerns that have been expressed today, I think it'd be wise to revisit that, have the staff go back out and take a look to see what the conditions might be today.
Great, okay. Okay, that's a good idea. And then the dog park we'll talk about in the discussion section. And thank you for the comments on 60 Sunset. We were civil, we were good, so we appreciate that. And yes, so moving on. Turn the page. Managers report. Mr. Brewer.
Thank you. If you just give me one moment to make a note so I don't forget. West Franklin. With respect to my report, there are two quick items that are written that are also on the agenda for this evening. The first is just an explanation of a resolution that was put on for the council to support a Morris County application to the New Jersey Transportation Authority for a study of the boulevard. County staff a number of years ago approached the township about a study with possible improvements to the turnpike. That's kind of underway. It involves capital expenditure as well as study. This time they said they would like to submit an application to the Planning Authority for a safety study of the boulevard. We've had requests for flashing lights by North Boulevard School. We all recall fondly the flashing light at Hopper in the boulevard, which is no longer there. It's a long, wide road. There are a number of instances where people have gone through stop signs and wound up on front lawns of people on adjacent properties. So when we were approached with this, I said this seemed like a great idea with no real downside. Again, it's an exploratory application. It's safety related, and if it were granted, it would involve significant public outreach and participation. So that's just an explanation of that. And then the next item is Sherman Avenue sidewalks, which is scheduled for discussion, so I'll withhold further comment until we get to that stage of the agenda. Unless there's any questions, that's my report.
Okay. Any questions from council? Hearing none. We shall move on. Public hearings. There are no public hearings scheduled for this evening. Item number 10, there are no ordinance scheduled for introduction at this time. The next item on the agenda is resolutions. Ms. Marsh.
Beginning with Resolution R 2025-132, approving the renewal of the designated alcoholic beverage control licenses. 133, appointing members of advisory committees. 134, authorizing estimated tax bills in accordance with Public Law 1994, Chapter 72, for third quarter 2025. 135, authorizing the execution of an agreement concerning sewer use payment delinquency. 136, supporting the Morris County's application to the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority for a concept development phase study of Boulevard, which is County Road 511A in the Township of Pequannock. R 2025-137, approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Sunset Road Reconstruction Phase 2, West Parkway to West Sunset Road project. 138, providing for the insertion of a special item of revenue in the 2025 budget pursuant to NJSA 40A:487. That's for the local recreation improvement grant for Washington Park. 139, confirming the designated memberships in the Pequannock Township Fire Department. 140, authorizing utility office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations. 141, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellation. And R 2025-142, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the June 5th, 2025 bill list and FEMA elevation escrow list.
Good job. Good job. Are there any comments from council? Yes.
He had an emergency he had to take care of.
Oh,
He will be back.
Okay. Okay, so I guess, all right, so moving on, is there any comments from council on these resolutions?
I see on the one with the appointments, the names aren't in there. Is that okay? That we're just...
I believe at the council meeting was said we were going to discuss it.
Right. So we have to discuss it now then, right? Before we can vote on that. Correct?
Yeah, I'm okay with whoever had their application in last meeting.
Yeah, I would. It's whoever had their application in by the last meeting, because those are the ones we looked at and discussed.
I mean, we got one today.
Do we need a list of that?
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you. So what happened was there was some discussion on the one committee, and that one was added. If you're not okay with it, then there's nothing I can do, but...
So, out of the names here, Carol, who had their application in by the last meeting?
The application for let's see, for the Historic District Commission, for Eleni King Cross. The application for Salvador Presti. The application for Vanessa Saracasino. Sorry for mangling that. June Russian, Christine Cisco.
So how do we do that? There should be names.
These, I thought I thought we weren't supposed to say names, but...
You can, I mean, you have chosen not to in the past, but you asked me who they were.
These were also in from last meeting, the seniors. These weren't all
I didn't get them until...
From what Carol said, you can't pull it.
Why not?
I didn't get them until...
You can pull it, or you can add the names.
To do things.
Yeah, you can add the names.
Oh, okay.
No, but I mean, there's no names on here.
Right, that's what I was bringing.
I guess there was an email sent earlier by Carol, 1023 potential appointments.
I don't know what to do with this one.
So at the last meeting, you didn't have all these names? But they had sent them in, but...
I didn't have them.
Okay.
Now, I would move to appoint those who had their names in by the last meeting.
Do we want to state those and put them in here?
They were in.
I'm confused.
Does everybody have a problem with any applications? Everybody has a problem with applications for the senior citizen advisory committees? Because you didn't see them at the last meeting? You guys had a problem with those?
Eleni was in on May 1st, it looks like. Vanessa isn't even, 1/8, that's what it's, May 29th for Andrea Noto. That's after the meeting, I think.
It just seems a little...
You know what it is? We had it, and we said last time that we were good with those people, and then all of a sudden...
Then we got more.
We got more, and I just
know that at the last meeting, Vinny said that he had some empty spots, so he wanted to look at it, and I said the same thing. I was going to bring him up at the last meeting, but we were told to wait until this meeting, and it didn't matter. We could do the names at this meeting. So when Carol asked for them, I forwarded them. I had these in an email from people, but they didn't get to Carol because we didn't do
they're not supposed to go to you.
I'm just saying, because I go to the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee, and they don't use emails, so they're filling the form out there. So, I mean, I don't know if people have a problem with the dates or the...
But there's no names on this, so I'm not signing it, so I don't know what you want to do. Because that means everybody's on here.
Exactly.
So, I'd say pull it and be done with it. I don't know what else to do with it.
That's direction from one. I need direction from the whole council.
Okay, then Dave?
So we're going to move this until July?
Well, we either have to move it or make some appointments now. And I guess the rest...
John doesn't feel comfortable making...
Well, if you're going to put names on it...
Well, she sent that separately, but I guess you didn't get to see it, right? Is that what you're saying?
I take direction from the council as a whole.
I understand what you're saying, the way it's written.
There's no
in here.
names on this, so I'm not signing it.
Exactly.
So I don't know what you want me to tell you.
I agree. I don't.
Somebody else wants to sign it,
I
knock
don't know
yourself
why
out.
the names aren't here, but that's because this came out on Friday.
All right, move it.
Move it.
All right, so 133, we're moving.
All right.
Any
Wait a
comments?
minute, we still have to have a discussion of what to put on the resolution.
So do we say that whoever had their
I mean, I sent my
forms in
recommendations in, but you didn't forward that to people, right?
before last meeting?
I forwarded
Yes.
the resolution, and I said this is a potential applications.
I think what Dave said, whoever had their forms in before last meeting,
You want me to
we can move.
read the names, or, I mean, I got the
I just-
applications and their dates there.
Well, put that on and then have her give this to me tomorrow. You just
From a direction perspective,
I'm
is
okay.
it satisfactory to just have a date by which those
Yes,
applications
I-
submitted,
I
and then you
can-
can prepare the resolution with those names on it?
I can do that.
Okay, let's do that. So what was the date of the last meeting?
27th.
All right, so before the 27th.
All right, the only thing I was going to mention, if you want to leave it the same as what you just decided, that's fine. But the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee, there is a lot of elderly people who were sick and could not come. I kept telling the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee at every meeting that I couldn't do appointments until June. I didn't know that they had to get the application in
By the 27th.
before the last meeting. We didn't give them a deadline. I just said I couldn't do anything until June. So we had to go through the process of removing the people that are sick or are no longer with us because they passed away. And we went after and looked for a few more people because the Senior Citizen Advisory
What date do you
Committee
want?
needs help. Well, I don't think we have to go by a date.
Don't we need to know if they...
Gotta go some by date, otherwise.
I think what we decided
So
was
if I
fine.
go out
Whoever
today and
had
get
it-
somebody, I can throw them on?
whoever had
I
it
mean, that
in-
doesn't make sense.
No.
Whoever
Carol,
had
do you
it
know
in by a
if
certain
people
point, by May
resigned
27th, we
or
said.
no longer...
I generally know when, I know when people resign to me. I don't have a...
If she gets an email, she knows. She don't.
Do you have a problem?
And I would encourage them to put their thing in when we go and do it again in December.
Do you have a problem going with the May 29th date?
I don't care.
I don't. May 29th?
May 29th.
Going?
Gone.
Gone. May 29th.
May 29th.
Okay?
You got it.
All right, so we're gonna, what are we gonna do? Take 133 out and then put the names on for May 29th? Or are you gonna put the names on this one
I'm going to
up
assume...
until May 29th?
I'm going to assume that I can correctly put in the names of those people that I got the applications by May 29th.
On this one, and then we'll do it.
For the July 8th meeting.
Okay, that's
For the
fine.
July 8th meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
My recommendation would be,
Yeah.
let's get our,
Ducks in a
let's sort this out and
Circle.
get it together for the council.
circle. Okay, moving on. So we're gonna pull 133. Any other comments on any of the other ones?
Mayor?
Yes.
With respect to 135.
Yeah, I had a question on that one too, but go ahead. Which one do we pick?
Yeah, Mr. Oostdyke, I don't know if you want to report on what contact you have or have not had with the...
I've not received a phone call back from the meeting and have tried several times and sent several emails where we offered to increase the time period to pay. No response.
Okay,
The
so-
only contract I have signed is the one we did originally. I have no idea why they don't respond to their attorney, but we've had no response.